Hello, dear students. Anushka, tell me, what's your doubt? The last 5 minutes, okay, we can clarify them. Let us start yesterday's class. Let us continue. So, the structure of villas. Villae plural, villas singular. Let us take the structure of villas. So, in the mucosa of the small intestine, that is ileum, the villi are arranged, already you have seen in the diagram yesterday, TS gut. So, in this, the villi is bordered by the columnar epithelial cells, simple columnar epithelial cells. Remember the tissues. Are you listening, all of you? Hello? So, the columnar epithelial double పడిపోయింది ఏంటి You just recollect the columnar epithelial cells. Examples already you have known about stomach and intestine. You just recollect. So this is the structure of the villus. These are the columnar epithelial cells. You draw this diagram also. These are the two villi, this one singular villus, into which the largest lymph vessels also enter into each villi. This is the largest lymph vessel, which is known as, beautiful name is given for this, lacteal. The lymph vessels of villi are called lacteals. This is the largest lymph vessel. And besides this, there are blood vessels also there. Arteries and veins also enter. This is artery and this is this side vein. Both are anastomosing with one another like this. The capillaries of arteries and veins are joining. So this is vein, this one is artery, and these are the capillaries. Capillaries of artery and veins, both are joined here. This is the structure of the villus. Between the bases of villi, there are Labercun follicles. Labercun follicles are the last and final digestive glands. There are 5 types of digestive glands in human beings. This is the last one, also called, commonly known as intestinal glands. Labercun follicles, also known as intestinal glands. So this is the structure of the villus. TS gut, already we have discussed about that, and there are modifications I told you already. In the stomach region, the musculosa has additional muscles called oblique muscles, you have noted down already. In the same way, in the submucosa region of duodenum, there are Brunner's glands. On that day, you have asked the functions of Brunner's glands, secretion of mucus, along with Labercun follicles, it also secrete intestinal juice. So this is the structure of the villus. Between the bases of, this is one base of the villus, this is also another base. Between these two bases, these crypts of Lieberkühn are present. They are also called Lieberkühn follicles. You can also say crypts of Lieberkühn. Crypts of Lieberkühn. Lieberkühn is the scientist name. This is the structure of the villus. Most important, for this sake and for the lacteal sake, we have drawn this diagram. That's why you keep this diagram. And diagrammatic representation of question also, it is very, very important as far as NEET is concerned. Okay, Lieberkühn follicles secrete the digestive juice, that is called succus entericus. Succus entericus. So with this, the TS gut is completed, and then we can go to the today's another topic, digestive glands. So gut we have completed. And next heading is digestive glands. Already we have divided the digestive system into two parts, alimentary canal and digestive glands. For any, not only humans, earthworm also we have previously divided, cockroach also, rabbit also, frog also. Alimentary canal and digestive glands are the two main parts of the digestive system. So the second part of the digestive system are digestive glands. This is the second part of the digestive system. How many types of digestive glands are there? You know, there are 5 types of digestive glands present in the humans. 5 types. But let us compare the frog in this connection. Why? Because in frog only 4 types of digestive glands are present. That is liver, gastric glands, pancreas and intestinal glands. Salivary glands are not there in the frog. So that comparative type of question also will come in the NEET examination. When compared with humans, in frog, which digestive glands are absent? That is the question. Answer must be salivary glands. They are absent. So here 5 types of digestive glands are there. They are, the first one is salivary glands. From anterior to posterior, if you go, you write down this order, because first begins with mouth. So inside the mouth cavity, these glands are present, salivary glands are present. Then second, this order of sequence also they will ask in the examination. The second type of digestive glands after salivary glands, what you mention, your stomach is there. So that's why gastric glands. Gastric glands, second type of glands. Then immediately nearby stomach towards right side, there is a liver. Biggest digestive gland is the liver, that is present. And followed by, in the loop of the duodenum, there is another biggest digestive gland which is called pancreas. So already just I have mentioned 5 types of digestive glands are there. Here already we have mentioned 4 types. Salivary glands. In the order of arrangement we are giving this order. First in the mouth cavity salivary glands, then in the stomach gastric gland, then liver, then pancreas, then last and final intestinal glands. Intestinal glands also called, just now I told you, Lieberkühn follicles. Intestinal glands. These are the 5 types of digestive glands. Out of these 5 types, which digestive glands are embedded in the alimentary canal, which digestive glands are associated with the alimentary canal, outside the alimentary canal. So in the wall of the alimentary canal, some glands are embedded out of these 5 types. Very important point this is, you note what the point, remember this all of you. So out of these 5 types of glands, which are extra outside the alimentary canal, some glands, liver is there outside, pancreas is there outside, even salivary glands also outside the alimentary canal. But inside the alimentary canal, in the wall of the alimentary canal, which digestive glands are embedded? That is the question. So Like that, basically they are categorized into two: extra alimentary canal glands, digestive glands which are extra alimentary canal glands. Means extra means outside. Extra alimentary canal glands are, what are they? Which glands are extra alimentary canal glands? Can let us list out these glands. 1. Salivary glands. Again we are chalking out and separating basing on their location again. Salivary glands are outside the alimentary canal, they are present. Liver and pancreas. These three are located outside the alimentary canal, are associated with alimentary canal. But the second one is the glands embedded in the alimentary canal. Means embedded. Which glands are embedded? Embedded means inserted. Embedded in the wall of the alimentary canal. In the wall of gut, you simply say in the wall of gut. You need not write down the prolonged word phrase, that is alimentary canal. Embedded in the wall of the gut. So like that, extra alimentary canal digestive glands are three types: salivary glands, liver and pancreas. Among these five we have chalked out, separated like this. Embedded in the wall of the gut, again there are how many types? Two types. Number 1, gastric glands. Number 2, intestinal glands are Lieberkühn follicles. Lieberkühn follicles. Okay? Are you following, all of you? See again. How many types of digestive glands are there? 5 types totally. These 5 types are like this, we have to differentiate. Outside the alimentary canal, only 3 glands are present, extra alimentary canal glands: salivary glands, liver, pancreas. And embedded in the wall of the gut is gastric glands and Lieberkühn follicles. Now let us take the salivary glands. The first heading, first digestive gland, salivary glands. How many salivary glands are there originally in mammals? In mammals, 4 types of salivary glands are there. But in humans, only 3 types of salivary glands are present. In humans, 4th type is absent. This is also an MSET bit as well as NEET bit. What is that salivary gland which is absent in humans also? Let us take, first of all, let us mention the 3 types of salivary glands in the man. According to the location, these salivary glands are so named. First one is parotid glands. Parotid glands are present in the corners of the ears. They are located in the corners of the ears. So that's why they are called parotid glands. Here, I locate this. So just below the pinna here. These are the parotid glands. They are also close to cheeks. Hence they are also called cheek glands. Parotid glands below the ear, they are present. Below the ear corners, they are present. These are the largest salivary glands. You can also note down this point. Another important NEET bit, understanding type question. It is not given in the NCERT, but it is understanding type question. The largest salivary gland is the parotid glands. Generally mumps, viral disease, paramyxovirus, which causes mumps, for this glands only. Swelling of parotid glands, nothing but mumps. Like this, the swelling occurs. So that is mumps, viral disease, paramyxovirus. This is the first gland, salivary gland. And second type of salivary gland present at the junctions of both the jaws, both upper jaw and lower jaw. So when we use upper jaw, it is also called, upper jaw generally called maxilla, hence submaxillary glands. When you use the Loayza is also called mandible. Hence it is submandibular glands. That's why the second type of salivary glands, you can say either submaxillary or submandibular glands. These are the second type of digestive glands, submaxillary or submandibular glands. And the last and final type of salivary glands in the, where these are present, location at the junction of jaws. Carefully remember this point, at the junction of jaws. All locations, all the three salivary glands locations also very essential. According to them only, according to their location only, they are so named as parotid glands, submaxillary or submandibular glands, like that. And last and final, below the tongue they are present. Hence, they are called sublingual. Lingua means tongue. Hence, they are called sublingual glands. Sublingual glands. Sublingual glands lies below the tongue. Hence, they are so named as sublingual glands. Lingua means tongue. Hence, technical term is used there. These are the sublingual glands. These are three types. The glands which are absent, noteworthy point. This is a star mark I will kept here, or you can put NB, nota bene, to note. The fourth type of salivary glands, below the orbits they are present, below the eyes. They are called infraorbitals. Infraorbital glands absent in humans. Absent in humans. This is exceptional matter. But in rabbit and other others, the infraorbitals are present. In all herbivorous mammals, this fourth type of salivary gland is also present just below the orbits. These are the orbits, below the orbits they are present. That is why they are called infraorbital glands. So these are the three types of salivary glands present in the humans. What are they? Parotid glands just below the ear corners here. Largest salivary glands, submaxillary or submandibular glands at the junction of both the upper jaw and lower jaw, and sublingual glands below the tongue. They are present, located. So the secretions include, salivary glands secrete the digestive juice called saliva. Saliva contains, first of all you have to note down the pH of saliva is 6.8. Noteworthy point, should be underlined. This is actually assertion reason type question also. That is why it is slightly acidic. It is slightly acidic. Slightly acidic digestive juice. That type of questions also will come in the examinations. Slightly acidic digestive juice is saliva, salivary juice or saliva. pH 6.8, that is the reason. Assertion is it is slightly acidic. Reason is the pH of saliva is 6.8. Most important assertion reason type question. All the digestive juices have their own pH. So here the saliva pH is 6.8. It contains composition of saliva. Saliva is equal to, always I will give you in the equation manner, that's why saliva is equal to water plus mucus plus electrolytes what are they? Sodium, potassium, chlorides, bicarbonates, etc. These electrolytes plus enzymes. plus enzymes. Enzymes I have mentioned. You remember this point. Generally saliva contains only one digestive enzyme. But enzymes we have mentioned. So what are the enzymes? Two enzymes of saliva are okay, salivary amylase. This is the digestive enzyme. Salivary amylase, generally people use it to say very familiar term, not given in the NCERT book, or tyalin. Salivary amylase also called tyalin, or alpha amylase. Tyalin also called alpha amylase. Alpha amylase. This is one enzyme. Two enzymes are there in the saliva. Another enzyme is lysozyme, antibacterial enzyme. It kills the bacteria in the food. Along with food, sometimes microbes enter. So they will be destroyed and killed by this enzyme called lysozyme. It is antimicrobial enzyme or antibacterial enzyme. What is the antibacterial enzyme present in the saliva? That is the question. Antibacterial or antimicrobial enzyme. If it is asked like that, your answer must be lysozyme. Lysozyme. So this is about the salivary glands. More about the salivary glands. More than that, not necessary. Then let us pass on to the next page. Second type of digestive glands. First order only we will follow. Second type of digestive glands are the gastric glands. Gastric glands generally located in, where they are located, in the gastric mucosa. Gastric always refers to stomach. In the gastric mucosa. So the mucous membrane, there are 4 layers in the gut, already I have told you. Serosa, musculosa or muscularis externa, submucosa and mucosa. So in the mucosa of stomach region, these glands are located, gastric glands are located. These gastric glands are 3 types, not given in the NCERT, but it is in the State Academy. So as there is not mentioned in the NCERT, why should we unnecessarily waste the time? So that's why different types of gastric glands we need not necessary also. Okay, let us directly go. Located in gastric mucosa. These gastric glands contain 3 types of cells. This is important. Gastric glands contain how many types of cells? 3 types of cells. These 3 types of cells are the number 1. The first type of cells, mucus secreting cells or mucous neck cells. You can mention mucous neck cells. They secrete the mucus and protect the stomach wall. Very, very, very important function of this mucus secreted by mucous neck cells. They prevent the excoriation of stomach wall by the action of HCl, because gastric juice also contains HCl. Hence mucous neck cells, first type of cells, secrete the mucus, protect the stomach wall. Then second type of cells, chief cells are peptic cells. Chief cells are peptic cells, second type. They produce 2 types of enzymes. 2 proenzymes are produced, that is the function of the chief cells are peptic cells. 2 proenzymes. Proenzymes means inactive. They cannot digest the food until and unless they are activated. They must be activated before digestion. After that, after activation only, they will digest the food material. These two proenzymes are the two proenzymes present in the gastric juice are pepsinogen and prorenin. Pepsinogen and prorenin. When you write renin, you should mention double N. Prorenin. They should be converted into pepsin and renin. Then only they will digest. Otherwise, they cannot digest. These are inactive state. That is the chief cells, second type of cells. And third type of cells, last and final type of cells are auxintic cells or parietal cells. Auxintic cells are also called parietal cells. Third type, most important cells, not matching type question and NEET law. In NEET it will be given for matching. Very, very, very important. Auxintic or parietal cells. They produce HCl and Cassell's intrinsic factor. Cassell's intrinsic factor or simply intrinsic factor. Cassell's intrinsic factor. These are the secretions of auxintic cells. HCl is most important because it converts pepsinogen into pepsin. It also activates prorenin into renin. That's why it's very important. And also another importance is there. It kills bacteria in the food. Another help done by HCl. So by the action of HCl on the wall of the stomach, the action of HCl on the wall of the stomach should be reduced by the mucus. Excoriation means formation of lesions, ulcers. Their formation is all prevented by this mucus secreted by mucus cells or neck cells. Mucous neck cells are the first type of cells. Chief peptic cells, chief cells, two proenzymes. One proenzyme is pepsinogen, the second one is prorenin. And third type of cells are the auxintic cells or parietal cells secrete the HCl, Cassell's intrinsic factor. This Cassell's intrinsic factor is essential for the absorption of vitamin B12. Absorption of vitamin B12 is the function of Cassell's intrinsic factor. Arrow mark I have given direction here. You see that this is the function of Cassell's intrinsic factor through the stomach. In the stomach wall itself, vitamin B12 is absorbed. It never reaches the intestine. Before reaching the small intestine, only it is absorbed, vitamin B12. That is due to this presence of this intrinsic factor secreted by the auxintic cells or parietal cells. So thus all these contents, what are they? Mucus, pepsinogen, prorenin, HCl and Cassell's intrinsic are collectively known as gastric juice. So the digestive juice secreted by the gastric glands is the second digestive juice, which is called gastric juice. Gastric juice is equal to mucus, technical term if you want, mucin. Mucin, simplify, you can easily make it simplify. Mucin plus HCl plus pepsinogen plus prorenin is the formula of gastric juice. Gastric juice, always, remember in the first year also we have given equation type. Easily you can, not in the form of sentence. It is like in the equation type. Gastric juice is equal to mucin plus HCl plus pepsinogen plus prorenin plus intrinsic factor. Cassell is a scientist name, hence you put apostrophe S. Cassell's intrinsic factor. But in the NCERT book, this is not mentioned, Cassell's. Difference between academy and NCERT. Okay, note down this. Anyhow, additional point, anything can be noted down. What is there? Understand type questions are given in the NEET examination. Hence, it is also essential. Casel's intrinsic factor useful for the absorption of vitamin B12 already I have written here. Arrow mark direction. Okay, so that is, this is about this pH of gastric juice. Already salivary gland pH, saliva pH how much? 6.8. The pH of gastric juice is also very less. So the lesser the pH and the greater the acidity. The greater the pH, the lesser the alkaline state. You know pretty well in chemistry also, you know about this. So pH of gastric juice is 1.8. Should be underlined. Previous pH saliva 6.8. So second type of digestive glands are also completed. Totally how many types of glands are present in this human intestine, human alimentary canal? 5. Salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas and intestinal glands. 2 completed today, and there are another 3 more can be completed later. ఏది నొక్కాలా ఇదే భవ్య హలో భవ్య యశస్వి raise your hands. Bhavya, SSV. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Any questions, Bhavya? Understood everything?
Yes, sir.
Previous classes also attended, okay na?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Very nice. SSV. Next SSV, raise your hand. SSV. Hello. SSV.
Yes, sir.
Okay na?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, Talli. Digestive glands. Today.
Yes, sir.
Right. Villus structure. Have you drawn this diagram? Villus.
Yes, I have drawn.
Labeling correctly noted down.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. It is very important for NEET also. Diagrammatic representation questions are there, in which it will be asked. Definitely. That's why carefully note down the day before yesterday's TS gut also. Serosa.
Okay, sir.
Serosa. Tell me the 4 layers of gut.
Sir, 4 layers of gut.
From esophagus to rectum, they are all having 4 layers.
Serosa, musculosa and submucosa.
And submucosa. You have ended and don't put end. After
Okay, sir.
submucosa, another one is there.
Mucosa.
Yeah. So these are the 4 layers. Musculosa also called muscularis externa. Musculosa also called
Muscularis
externa. So how many muscles are there?
Sir, 2 types. Longitudinal muscles and circular muscles.
Outer longitudinal, inner circular. You say like that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is the reverse of the body wall of earthworm. In the body wall of earthworm, you know, the circular muscles are first placed, longitudinal muscles are next placed. But in case of the gut wall, the longitudinal muscles are first placed and circular muscles are next placed. What is the modification regarding musculature in the stomach wall?
Sir, we have additionally oblique muscles present.
Yes. Very nice. Then Jaya, raise your hand. Very nice. How did you follow? Saturday's class and today's class, how did you follow? Hello, Jayasri, Erramsetti Jayasri, Tali, speak out.